Hello guys, so today I will show you to create the hardware structure using Java programming. Okay, so here basically we will try to create this hardware structure in a very customized way. Okay, what do I mean by that? So basically we will take some input from user, like if they wants to create some bigger or a smaller size of hardware, they can do that. Okay, again we will also give some flexibility to create this hardware structure as much as possible. So basically if someone wants to create thousand number of hardship, they can do that as well. And if someone wants to create 100, 1000, 1 lakh, something like that, they can do that. Okay, and apart from that we will also try to give some basic animation to this creation of this hardship. We will try to give some motion while creating this hardship, so it is very much like pleasant to see that it is getting created in a slow motion. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I will open one online Java compiler. Okay, so you can use anyone. Okay, normally for the simplicity I'm using online editor. You can use Visual Code, Visual Studio, whatever it is, IntelliJ. Okay, so before that I am just pasting one sample diamond structure, hardware structure here, just to uh, if once I will start writing the code, or once we will build the logic, it will be very much better for you to understand it better. Okay, and you can just visualize it in a better way. So that's why I've just added here. So yeah, so let me write some description what we are going to do. So create the heart shape structure in a customized way. Okay, what would be the customization? So customization will be, first we will create the different size of heart. Second, we will create the desired numbers of heart. Okay, third, we will give motion while creating the heart. Okay, these three customization we are going to do. Okay, so next let's get started with the core logic. Okay, so here we will start writing first some user input we wants to take. Before that we will just import the basic Java library util.star. Okay, so here first we will take input from user for the size of this heart shape. Okay, so system dot out dot println. Okay, here we will ask user to input the size of the heart shape. And again basically I want to clarify that before taking the input from user, now we will encourage them to input the odd integer. Why is it so? Because if you will if user will input the even number, no, we will end up with the creation of this hardship without having this last star. So basically we will not able to create the perfect hardship. Okay, so for that purpose we will just ask user to input the odd integer. Okay, so for that we will also uh, like communicate this message to them: please insert the odd integer for the perfect square. Sorry, not perfect square, perfect heart, right? Correct. Here let me instantiate this scanner object here. Scanner is equal to now scanner system.in. Okay, we will store this size variable in this variable size, and scanner dot next int. So we have taken the input from user and we have just stored this variable in this size. Okay, now again, if someone have just input the even number, so for that I will just check it. If this even number, we will just terminate this program. Okay, system dot exit. Okay, but before exiting we will just communicate to user that why we have just terminated this program. Okay, so for that, system dot out dot println, we will just tell them what was the reason behind that. Okay, so, and we will also ask them to please enter the odd integer for the perfect shape of the heart. Okay, that's all. Next here we will take input from them is how many numbers of heart they wants to create. Okay, println please enter the counts for the heart shape to be created. Okay, here we will initialize one variable, declare one variable, and initialize with that scanner dot next int. Okay, so here total count will be fine name for this. So total count scanner dot next int, that's fine. Okay, basically this part was just to take the input from user. Okay, now we will start to building our core logic. Okay, so before that I want to explain you some basic idea. Okay, using this sample heart shape that we have added here. Okay, so that it will be very easy for you to understand the core logic. Okay, so here you can see that this heart shape is very much this part you can see and this part you can see, this both structure is quite different, right? The pattern is quite different, right? So if I will just split it now into just a second, yeah, if I will split both this in two parts, it will be better, right? So this part is quite similar and yeah, means following one pattern, and this part is basically following a different pattern, right? So I will say that first part is upper part. Okay, and this part is basically lower part. Okay, now basically what we have to do, you can see that in this heart shape now, at some position there are some empty spaces, right? And at some position there are some stars, and in middle as well there are some stars are missing, and this here we have put some empty spaces, right? So basically our first goal is to identify this position. Okay, how can we just identify this position using our like different variable that we have taken from user? Okay, so we have to just formalize the positions using our means whatever the variables or whatever the input we have taken from user. So using that variables only, we have to deduce some formula to get these positions. Okay, so let's get started with this first part. Okay, upper part. So I would say that in this case we have size equals to 15. Okay, so only this parameter we have that is known to us till now. Okay, now using that we will start deducing different variables. Okay, or getting some different logic and start building our whole logic. Okay, so first what I will do, I will want to get the height of this upper part. So what does I mean by this height? So height is nothing but the number of rows. One, two, three, right? Three rows are here for the first upper part. Okay, so first of all, we will try to get the height of this upper part and height of this lower part. Okay, and one more thing, size is nothing but, here you can see that why I have written here 15. Sorry, I just forgot to mention that here 15 nothing but the number of columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This 15 is a number of columns. Okay, and that column number of columns is nothing but our size. So size and columns are both same. Okay, so the input that we will take from user, that will nothing but our total number of columns. Okay, that is clear, I think so, right? Next, for upper height. Okay, so here we will try to deduce the upper height formula. So basically we can easily understand by looking into that. If we will just split this size and upper height ratio into 1:5 ratio, we can easily get that upper height equals to size divided by 5, right? And once we will try to write it's 15 divided by 5, we can easily get it 3, right? So I think this formula is fine, that we will go with this formula, size divided by 5 for the upper height, and that's enough for the upper height, right? For the lower height, okay, so for the lower height, you can see that at every level now, this one star from starting and one star from last position is getting deducted, right? So for that, if you will just start if you will just divide this size variable by 2, and because the remainder will be remaining at last, because we are taking even odd number in size, so for that we will just add one extra value the last. And once we will try to evaluate this formula using our total size equals to 15, so you can see that 15 divided by 2 plus 1 equals to 8, correct? And here as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I can see that the total height of this lower part is 8, right? So this formula we have deduced and we will use in our coding. Okay, here int was missing, just a second. Now here int upper height equals to size divided by 5, right? Size divided by 5. Okay, int lower height equals to size divided by 2 plus 1, right? That's cool, correct? Yeah, so now let's get started with the core logic of this upper part of this heart. Okay, once we will finish with this upper part, then we will go with this lower part. Okay, so let's get started with creation of this logic building of this upper part. Okay, so here we will write, create the comment, create the upper part. Okay, so here what we will do, just observe one thing here. Okay, here basically this will be we will start iterating over this column, and column is nothing but size, and the row is nothing but our height. Okay, we will iterating for the first row. Okay, at this first row, this we will have this I equals 2. Okay, and j will be 0 to 14. Because why I have written 2 and 0 to 14, I will just explain you. Because there is a total column number of column is 15, right? But we will start with 0. Okay, so because we have included 0, so we will start iterating from 0th position to 14th position. Okay, and for I at this, for the upper part structure, okay, we will be having like starting with I equals to 2, then we will come to the I equals to 1 and I equals to 0. Okay, in a reverse order. In this j, in the column we have started 0 to 14, but here we will start The upper height is basically, what is upper height for this sample shape is 3, right? So 3 is nothing but our upper height. So is this will be, I will write it as upper height. This is nothing but upper height 3 minus 1. Okay, so this is the 3 minus 1, this is 2. Okay, and going forward for this position I will be means it will be decreased. So this will be at this position, it will be, here I will write it as 2. Here the I equals to 1, and j again will be from 0 to 14. We will iterate from 0 to 14. Okay, and at this position I will be 0. Okay, so here 0 1 2. Okay, so here I equals to 2, and here j is iterating from 0 to 14. Okay, so now using this value you can easily see that at this first position, at the first row, sorry, at the first row, the first position and second position is empty, right? And we can easily say that if I, that is 2 at this position, okay, if I is greater than j, okay, we can directly input the empty spaces, correct, for this position, because at this position I is 2 but j is 0, so j is less than 2, correct. So we will input the empty spaces. Here the j will be become 1, still it is less than 2, correct, so we will input the empty spaces. Next the j will be become 2, okay, but is at this position the I is also 2, so in this position it will not fulfill the condition, so in that case we will put simply the star. Okay, so I am just making the, or I'm just trying to create the condition for the empty spaces only right now. Okay, so here I will directly write the condition first, but before that I will just write me the logic for the loop that I will iterate over this row and column. Okay, so for this int I equals to 0, sorry, I will start from the upper height minus 1, right? And I, once I is less than, sorry, greater than, just a moment, or greater than equals to 0, and I minus minus, okay, inside it for int j equals to 0, okay, and j is less than size, okay, and that's fine, and j plus plus, that's fine. Okay, inside it first condition we will write, that will be once j will be less than I, okay, simply we will put system.out.print empty spaces. Okay, now come to the next part where we will try to build the logic for this position, the last position. Okay, so for the last position, okay, you can see that, just give me a moment where I will just let me add some spaces where I can just write the logic, okay, to explain you basically. So here you can see for the last position, okay, this last position, here the position is 13 and this position is 14 for j. Okay, at this position j will be 13 and this position j will be 14. Okay, now at this position you can see that we can easily see that our size value is 15, right? So if we will just size minus I, what is there, 15 minus, this is 3, right? Sorry, 2, I equals to 2, right? So here it will be 13, correct? So we can see that once we are subtracting this size, sorry, if we are subtracting this value of I from this size value, we are getting 13. Okay, so we can easily say that कि once our j value will be greater than or equals to this formula size minus I, we can easily put these empty spaces, right? So for that we can write here, if j is greater than equals to, just give me a moment, this will be greater than equals to, right, size minus 1, size minus I, right? Correct. So in that case as well, we have to just put the empty spaces, right? So we will put the empty spaces right here. Next the main part of this row, or the quite complex than before that we have just understood, is middle part. Okay, so we will try to deduce the formula or the logic, okay, for this one. Okay, so here you can see that the position of j is what, just let me check it, this is 0, this is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now this is 6th 7th 8. Okay, so we can easily say that if j is in between 6 and 8, I am just taking the reference of first row only. Okay, using that we have to deduce the formula for the other one. Okay, but this is just for first row, but using that one we will try to understand how can we just deduce the logic. So again, so j will be in between 6 and 8. Okay, so now how can we get the 6 and 8 using the variable that we are having, size I j, something like that. Okay, so we will try to get the 6 and 8 value using our variables. Okay, so here we can easily see that size divided by 2 nothing but is 15 divided by 2 equals to 7, right? So can we say that if j will be in between 7 plus what is here j, sorry, I is nothing but 2, right? So I minus 1, and sorry, this will be minus 7 plus I plus, sorry, this is also minus. Okay, so again we will, if we will write this in a formulated way, first let me solve this, the formula that Rajesh just written. I is nothing but 2. Okay, so 2 minus 1 is 1, and 7 plus 1, right? This will be 6 and 8, right? So again we are able to get the 6 and 8 value using our size and I value, means whatever the variables we have, using that value or using that variables we are able to means deduce this formula for the upper bound and the lower bound. Sorry, yeah, correct, the lower bound and the upper bound. Okay, yeah. So next what will we will try to write the logic here. Okay, so again if j will be in between, means the logic will be behind the variables, okay, not the concrete value. Okay, so here we will write it as a, if j is in between size divided by 2 minus I minus 1 and size divided by 2 plus I minus 1. Okay, we can say that. So in that, if this is the case, we can directly put the empty spaces. Okay, so we will write that thing here using our programming. Okay, so here if j is less than, sorry, greater than equals to this value, size divided by 2, okay, minus I minus 1, okay, and j is less than equals to this formula is size divided by 2 plus, right? So size divided by 2 plus I minus 1, okay. Here in that case as well, we will write system dot print the empty spaces, okay. That's all. Yeah, so basically if any condition will be fulfilled with these cases, we have to just put the empty spaces, right? So this, all these three condition is just for empty spaces. So what we will do next, we will club all this condition in one line, okay. Why we are doing this? Because we have to just add one else condition, because if this will not be fulfilled, I have to just put the star. So I'm just making the code much smaller, that's why. Okay, I'm just also remove this, and I will just add the or condition here, add some small braces, because this is two more condition inside this, one more and condition is added here, that's why. Again, this part is completed. In this else part, I will just write system dot out dot print star, okay. That's all. So this upper part is completed for us, okay. Great. So guys, basically this part of for loop will be run for one row, okay, for one entire row, okay. But for the next row, once we will have to run this logic for the next row, we have to come downside, right? So for the coming to the next line, we have to just put the new line here, okay. So for that purpose, I have to just write here println, so it will come down the next line and it will run this same logic for the next line, okay. So that purpose I have added here. Now just come to create this lower part of this heart, okay. So now, but this is so straightforward, this is not much complex, okay. So first let me write the iteration for the row and column, okay. But before that, I will just explain you in a very short way. Here you can see that at this level the whole star is available, right? But just next level, okay, in the next level the star, the star from the initial position and the last position is just missing, right? So we are just deducting this star from the one star from starting and one star from last, okay. That's enough. So we will try to write this logic using our programming, okay. So first I will try to write the iteration. So we will start from the 0, because here you can see that in the upper part we are increasing the star down, going downside, okay. But here while going downside we are removing the stars, so that's why we will start from the 0 and it will go till size, sorry, lower height, right, because this is row, and I plus plus. Again here as well I will just put int j equals to 0 and j will go till size and j plus plus, okay. Again here the condition that we will write here, we can see that here, just come to the downside, okay. Here we can see that this is the position of the ith position will be here 1, because this is 0, this is 1, right? And jth position will be from 0 till 0 to 14, I can say, okay. So here in this case you can see that at this position 0, j, once j will be 0, I will be 1, we are putting the empty spaces, right? So we can directly say that once j will be less than I, okay, if j is less than I, we will directly put system dot out dot print empty spaces, okay. Next, if for the lower part, for the sorry for the last and point, basically you can see that here ith jth position will be 14 and I position will be 1. So can we say that once j will be greater than equals to size minus I, we can put the empty spaces just similar like that, this position where we have reduced this now, the same way, right? This one, correct? So here you can, we can easily write that once if j will be greater than equals to size minus I, correct, we can easily say that system dot out dot print with the empty spaces, okay, that's correct. Now this part is completed, I think so. Now we have to just put this in one line. So for that case I will just write the or condition and I will just put here and I will just remove it, and once if this condition will not be fulfilled, I will just put this system dot out dot print here star, okay, that's done, that's enough, I think so. Yeah. So basically our core logic is completed, the upper part is also completed, the lower part is also completed, okay. Just try to run it and we will see if the code is compiling or not. If there will be an issue, we will fix that. After that we will move to the next part where we'll just add the other functionality where we have to take the number of heart shape that user wants to get created, okay. And apart from that we have to add some motion while creating this heart shape, okay. This two part will be remaining, but first let just recompile it, sorry, just compile it and try to run this program, okay. Okay, here, yeah, it's perfectly compiled in one go, that's very great, no problem. So here what we will do, here they are asking, we will try to see that if our heart shape is getting created perfectly or not, okay. So just let me expand it, and here we are asking input the size of the diamond, okay. We will put it, let me put it 20 first, we will see that if our program is terminated or not, okay. Yeah, please enter the odd integer for the perfect shape of the integer, yeah, that's great, okay. We'll try to rerun it and we will put the odd integer this time, okay. Yeah, please enter the counts for the hard shape to be created 1. There's some mistake, I think so, it's not getting created perfectly, let me check it, okay. I can debug it, there's a functionality to debug it, okay. So let me I don't want to means make this video lengthy, okay. So for that case I'm just pausing here, okay, and I'm just debugging it and I'm just trying to find where it is, this is where is the issue having occurring, and I will just resume the video, okay, and I will tell you where we have just made the mistake, okay. Just give me a second. This was a very minor issue and I had found this very quickly. So what was happening, that we know that for every row to run the logic for the next row we have to go to the new line, right? So for that purpose we had added this for the upper part, right? But for the lower part we had just missed it. So you can also see that once we are running this, the upper part was fine but the lower part was distorted, right? You can see that 21. Yeah, so you can see that the lower part distorted but the upper part was fine, right? So there is no issue, just we have to add a new line here, okay. Now try to run it. 21 1, just give me a moment. She, wow, that's so great, that's so cool, wow. a very beautiful hearts was created, right? So yeah, that's fine. So we know that the our core logic of creating this heart shape is completed, and it was also compiled and uh, perfectly built, right? Now we have to add the functionality for the next one, that was to create the numbers of different numbers of uh, heart shape. Okay, so for that I will just add while loop. While total count minus minus is greater than 0, once it will not be less than 0, I have to run the same logic again and again. Okay, and here I have added here, let me format it. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Now try to run it. 21. Let me add three heart shape. Wow, that's so cool. Correct. Wow, this part is also completed. Okay, and one more thing, I'm just seeing that I just don't want to overlap this, I want to some gap here. So what I will do here, I will just put some new line once our while loop is getting, means once our while loop will be run again and again, I will just, I want to just put two new lines every time. Okay, so for that I have added here. Okay, now try to run it again. Just, I want to check, I want to see changes. It's very much exciting to see the changes every time once we just write something and getting triggered and it's getting executed with some changes. It is very much exciting, right? I feel that, I don't know you feel that or not. Here, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I wanted to do the same things. Okay, so that's fine. Now try it, because you can see that it's not giving us some good like appearance to because we want, like, if this is getting created, I want to just to see that the diamond is getting created, sorry, this heart shape is getting created. So for that I want to give some motion, and I want to see, I want to feel while creating this uh, heart shape. Okay, yeah, for that I will just add here system.out.println, and here I will ask user to put, please enter the slow motion speed, and this will be in millisecond. And this is good to communicate, because someone will not be aware that I have to input seconds, hours, whatever it is. So, okay, and here we will write that higher this value, higher the value, lower the speed. Means, for example, someone is putting 100 and someone is putting 200. So 200, the person who is putting 200, now the speed to create this heart shape will be slower. Okay, yeah, I will just lower the speed. Okay, now here what I will do, here I will write thread, just a second, thread dot sleep. Sorry, before that I have to take the input from user. Now scanner, just a second, int speed is equals to scanner dot next int. Okay, that's perfect. Here we will add the speed variable here inside that and inside that as well. So guys, you may be surprising that why I have added thread.sleep here in this position only, because I want, for example, at every row, once my one row is completed now, I want my main thread to go into sleep for some seconds, or whatever the millisecond the user is putting. So in doing that thing, we can achieve the slow motion. Okay, and because I want this thread to go in sleep after creation or after completing one row. Okay, because I don't want to go into the sleep for each level or each column wise. Because now at this position where you can see that this is the empty spaces, at this position if I will put the thread into sleep, user will not be able to see it, because it what is happening here they will not see it because this is blank. So but once I will make our thread into sleep after one row, it will be much visible. Okay, that's why I just added in this position, because in this position the one row is getting completed. Okay, so that's for that purpose I have added here. Okay, just check it if it's running or not, what's happening. Oh my god, yeah, what happened? Interrupted. Okay, sorry, because thread is because it may throw some exception, so that's why we have either we can just wrap inside this try and catch, otherwise we can directly do it. This is more straightforward, so I'm doing that thing. Throws, just a second, throws exception. Okay, now I think it will go and we can easily run it. Okay, just try to run it again. Just let me expand it. This time I want to create a bigger size of diamond. Okay, so 51 I have added. This time I want to create 5 numbers of diamond. Okay, and I want to give 100 millisecond speed. Just try to see. Wow, that's so cool. Wow, that's so awesome, right? Wow. Mm-hmm. Fourth, fifth. Yeah, yeah, that's so cool, right? Yeah, so guys, I will put this whole code in my GitHub link, and I will share over this comment box or this description box. Okay, so you can easily find that. Okay, so I am really very much thankful to you for watching this video, and I want from you that to support our channel. Okay, and please share this video as much as possible. Thank you guys, thank you so much. Bye.